Wanted to remind you, or if this is new to you, just let you know that and I'm going to change this so y'all can see me. There we go. That as you join the Google chat, if you could please mute your mic, and then if you have a comment or you'd like to speak, enter that into the chat. I will be monitoring the chat, and when Isaul has a break, I'll go ahead and read the questions that you have in the chat area. Pose your questions, comments, suggestions, anything like that. And this is being recorded. As a reminder, it is being recorded, and the questions and comments will also be recorded. And again, my name is Leticia Castaneda. Welcome to ELD DLI office hours, and I'm going to turn it over to Esaul.
Hey, good morning, folks. My name is Esaul Orozco. I'm the secondary multilingual multicultural services coordinator for the district. We also have incredible coaches on board. So before we continue to review today's goal, which is the teacher page, I would like if the coaches can say a quick hello.
Good morning, everybody. I am so happy that you're here. And I'm Lee Cabrera. And I want to reach out especially to let you know that I am 100% available to go over resources, to work with you individually, to help solidify your program as you're doing distance learning. And I will look forward to having you reach out to me. Thanks.
Hi, this is Mary Luckton. I'm an instructional coach working mostly with the internationals communities at Helms and Richmond High, as well as Dijon and Kennedy High School. Welcome to everybody, and thank you, Mary Lee, for that reaching out to the teachers.
Thank you, folks, once again. Just another quick reminder that there is a captions item at the very bottom. If you scroll down right where the mute button is and the video button is, there was a reminder yesterday in terms of using that to really structure talk. I will work on my practice to really slow down in terms of how I speak. Thank you for that kind reminder. As folks prep their window, I will begin the presentation mode. So I'll do that now.
Isaul, and just a quick reminder, please, for those who are joining, if you could put your site and grade level that you teach, that would be appreciated.
All right, we're going to start by using the WCC e-learning page. And this is on the teacher site. So once you click teacher, you can scroll down and there will be an ELD section. And I'm scrolling down now to where it says ELD English Language Development. And there is a teachers page. Go. This page will also be included in the chat if it's not already added there. So if you're having difficulty finding it, or just in terms of time, if it's easier, please click the link on the chat side. This teacher's page resembles and purposefully was a almost mirror image of the parent page. It's just more detailed in terms of structure. Certain items that are not mentioned, for example, are the PD hours that multilingual, multicultural services offers on a weekly basis. So that's the difference item there in terms of introduction. There's also a focus on DLI that's a little bit more detailed as well. You'll notice that the first couple of bullet points are almost exactly the same. Our goal is that we have the same goals in terms of parent communication, teacher communication, and when it comes to working with elementary and secondary folks, to have that same common message. Once again, the first bullet point here is really assuring that there's a relationship and connectivity between the teacher, the parent, and the student, and this new relationship that we're all learning how to develop. That's our first priority in terms of learning and developing that relationship. Just like a classroom at the beginning of the school year, relationships are truly key for learning, and we want to make sure that that continues to follow through. It's also in conjunction, it's not mentioned here, with the California Principles Roadmap, Principle 1. With item 2, and I'll highlight it now, item 2 is really the standard in terms of being able to fulfill what ELD support is in terms of ed code. Ed code focuses on time and focus in terms of English language development for students. We have created a link for the California ELD standards, which I'll click on in a little bit. Yesterday, we mentioned the parent focus in part 1, and I'm gonna highlight that there. We reviewed that part 1A1, B5, B6, and C10 were also in alignment with the LPAC testing method and language domains, which is reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So that was the ask for parents in terms of focusing and working toward ELD standards and preparing for LPAC, the English Language Assessment Proficiency Test of the state, which has been postponed for this year. However, it is still going to be used in terms of reclassification. And reclassification is one of our major goals for English learners. The additional component for teachers is really part 2. So now we have our major components to fulfill ELD and a guide to fulfill English language development for students. Part 1 and part 2 together in your lessons. And now I'm going to jump into those California lessons for a quick run through before we move forward.
Saul, pardon me for interrupting. A couple of comments on the chat. If we could go just a little bit deeper into the Spanish resources that are available, that would be appreciated. And also a reminder that the links I am posting are the links that Isaul is referencing. So 2 things, the links that I'm posting in the chat are what Isaul will be going over. Pardon me. And then Isaul, a little bit deeper into the actual resources in Spanish would be appreciated. And thank you everyone for the comments.
Yeah, thank you very much. I believe that is on item 3, so we will be reviewing those resources shortly. I do just really truly want to put an emphasis on part 1 and part 2. The California ELD standards have been reviewed by MDAC and by many parents. There was 2 parent trainings this year to cover the California ELD standards. So this is how we're building continued relationships and continued information in terms of expectations. So the parent was part 1. And then part 2 is really where a teacher can use their creativity to fulfill both part 1 and part 2. Many of you are familiar with this part 2 section. Okay. So now looking at part 3 or number 3 in the teacher page, which really focuses on resources and links that teachers can use that our department suggests as useful. There are many right now. I did receive a request in terms of focusing on the Spanish bilingual resources, which are on the lower end. So certain items might be familiar already. The ELD lesson template, which is also available. The essential features of ELD, which if you're reviewing a lesson or something like that, this is a way to say, you know what, I am able to hit some essential features in terms of how I am supporting English learners. Language objectives, the academic language function toolkit, the Tulare County strategies. These items have been covered in prior PDs of our department. Sentence frames in English and in Spanish. I'm going to click the Spanish version. So these two D3, they marry each other. The reason why is our goal is that parents who do not speak English and speak Spanish also have that opportunity to have a conversation with their children at home. And then lastly, E is the bilingual resources. I'm going to go ahead and click on that one. This page, there's a plethora of resources that are delivered in English and in Spanish. Many of these are also in Clever. So they're within our span of communication and resources that will be in existence well after this social distancing stage. Now I'm just slowly going to scroll down to several resources. Some of them have a bit of a different focus. You are free to choose what works best for you. Several items also connect with a dual language immersion. And as you see, there are some in English and in Spanish, and in terms of looking for resources that connect with newcomers at different stages, brought by grade level. Right now, much of the ask is looking at the integrated features as well. And just a point to be able to support English learners directly. Once again, we are encouraging and high-fiving and applauding teachers who are being creative. An item that came into my spectrum yesterday where certain teachers were, having smaller groups with English learners depending on their level, and using this time as a moment to be very creative in how we're supporting English learners. So I applaud everyone's work. So as we scroll down here, we're about halfway. We've covered about half of the teacher page, and let me go back to that one since I've been jumping all over the place. And now I'm gonna pass it on over to Leticia to hit some dual language immersion components. All right, thank you.
Hi, thank you, Saul. Oh, let me take there. Okay. I did post the links to, again, as a reminder, the links to the pages that Isaul is talking about or presented to you. I also just posted the links that I received from Californians Together. So we have a lot of resources from them, like the teacher toolkits. So Isaul, the teacher page, sorry.
It's okay.
I thought you had it up. That's why I didn't get it up. Yeah, there we go.
I got it, okay. Yeah.
So we added the commonly occurring cognates in elementary classrooms for your use, just as a great reminder for scholars and parents to make that connection between language so we can focus on the biliteracy. So I added that there. I also added the time and content allocation. The time and content allocation, which is 5, was also added to the parent page. And the reason we chose to add that is as we're building out resources for you, we will be building them out to address your grade level and content area. That's why it was really important for you to list your grade level and your site, so we can directly send those to you as well. And we could really start connecting with you. So the resources that are on the Spanish bilingual English resources page do address not just the listening, speaking, reading, and writing, but how to build braille literacy and really help support you in your dual language classroom. So the teacher Spanish English online resources, the bilingual pages, are different, slightly different than the parents, because on yours, Isabel, if you can go back to the Spanish bilingual resources, that page. So the first column that we have, or the first section, is for you to support you in your growth, and then resources to help the e-learning, the distance learning. So I thought that if I had listed everything there, it was the one page go-to that you can reference regardless of what you're looking for. If you have any ideas or any suggestions of what you would like entered on that first section, or all of it actually, for teachers, resources that are easier for you to access, just email me, let me know, and we can update this. These resources are for you. We're here to support, and that's my goal, to support you as you support your scholars in distance learning. So as you scroll through it, it is sectioned off, the resources for teachers. And so if you keep going, thank you. We also added the ELD folders here by grade level and other resources for you for ELD. And then it starts off with general resources, free online digital libraries for scholars to access, and it keeps going on. So if you just want to scroll through it, Isaul, and right where it said parent resources, that's the common page that you have, as well as the page that was made available to parents. And I'm going to go back into the chat, Isaul, really quickly, because there are more messages.
Sure.
Were there any questions or comments? Please post those for me, and I'll read them out, and then I'll answer them, and then I'll read them to Isaul so he can answer.
And in terms of mirroring with the secondary, I do want to give a shout out to the secondary folks who are here. We're a bit of a smaller group, so I'll reach out to you personally also. But some of the resources can also be helpful for elementary. Once again, the ELD secondary guide can be searched on your drive. Just type in ELD secondary guide. It should pop out, and you should just go ahead and click on it. If you don't have access, request access, and you'll receive access within a couple of hours. And the difference between the secondary resources and the teacher one is truly the connection to the district text book that is adopted by the district. And that is this NG Connect district page. So that's the difference between that parent letter. A lot of the resources are the same here. And then on the district page, and if we scroll to this parent page, if we scroll all the way down, this is the district page, and we keep going, there is a recommendation for certain apps that can be used during this time. There are a lot of online apps. Some apps can even be used on a student's cell phone. Some are also on Clever. And these are apps that can be used between ELD levels 1 through 4. Notice that the first one is the textbook, our district adopted textbook. And then there's several apps that are also offered with a sidebar of teacher support. So if you want to know the lens of how to use this app, there's a teacher guide available. There's an educator center, BrainPop for educators, for example. And you really want to find expertise in a certain application, which connects a bit more to online learning. These resources are also available. A lot of them say 6 through 12, but can also apply to elementary. Okay. There's about 10 minutes. Are there any items on the chat bar? I'm going to go ahead and stop presenting at this moment.
Just no additional comments, just asking for me to repost the links to the pages. So I am reposting the link to the elementary teacher page, the secondary teacher page, the elementary parent letters, English and Spanish, and then the secondary letter, as well as the links to the Californians Together and the e-learning site. But I don't see any other messages.
Okay. And also, please reach out. We do have office hours next week, same time, same place, even if it's just a 30-minute session. Um, um, if there's a specific app or a specific item from this parent letter and teacher letter that you want us to dig deeper in and say, you know what, one of these applications really interests me. I'm having an issue with it, or it's fantastic. Could we really review it as a team? That's what we really want to build, is some type of EL community here online, so we can develop PD. Granted, we have many experts, including y'all teachers, that we want to share out. We have coaches, coordinators, teachers. We really want to bring this whole community together, so we can find out what works, what works best for us, and what works best for our students. I'm going to turn off my mic. One of the items in terms of reflection, I'm going to turn off my mic so anyone can jump in at this time. Just turn off your mic if you have any questions or any items of concern that you'd like us to focus on. Once again, you can put it in the chat, but I'm going to open up the space for other teacher voice.
It's Mary Lee here, and I did notice a comment in the comment box from Ms. Cole and Ms. Chatterjee about having, what would we recommend for parents that do not have internet access, especially at the kinder and primary grade level, and they are both in the DLI program as well. So one thing I would recommend or talk about is if they have any access. I mean, a lot of parents do have a smartphone. I know the kids are often using different games, and one of the things, it's certainly not the only thing, but one of the things would be to address them to things like Jose Luis Orozco, songs and poems. We have a multitude of resources, and I can double check what we have and make sure that they are included on our resources page. Okay, of course.
Yeah, that is an item that our district is working on, in finding out who gets what, to put it simply, and if it works. So some folks do have laptops, but no Wi-Fi. Some folks have Wi-Fi and maybe not the best laptop. I know there's some packets that are going out there. We're really trying to minimize as many packets that are shared. Granted, we understand that folks are in need. So we're doing a little bit of everything momentarily to try to meet that need. The more we know, the more we can address that specific need. And that's really what we're doing in these, what we've done in the last 2 weeks is really to find out those logistics so we can best support. So if you find that some folks are in need, you can share out that number. I believe there is a site that we can link onto this chat in terms of providing hotspots that your students specifically need, so we can prepare. We might not have those hotspots in this specific moment, but if we know that there's a need for that, then we can prepare to meet that need.
So I'm going to interrupt. I have a chat, a comment, and Allison, are you going to take over the screen so you can demonstrate that quickly? Are you ready, or is this something that We're going to postpone.
I'm totally happy to do it right now if folks are interested. I know everyone's been inundated. Sorry, on my camera.
Okay.
Everyone's been inundated with so much information, and I'm still working on the document that will actually like guide you, but I'm happy to do a quick demo of where to find those books. If folks are interested, just say yes, no. I know Mina said yes. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that real quick. I'm gonna share my screen. I have no polished presentation for you right now. It's just one of those days.
Put you on the spot. I'm so sorry.
No. I wanted to show folks if they were interested. I know you all have so many resources to share. So the first place that I would recommend that people go, and I'm going to go through this real quick, knowing here, I'll show you what I'm in progress on. Literally this document, can you guys see that right there? I will finish it and I will send it out to folks. But for now, are you guys seeing my screen? Okay. In Clever, my Clever looks a little bit different than yours, but let's say I'm at King. I'm going to go down over here on the left to reading. And then I don't know how many people have experienced using this app called Sora, but this is a place where I've put a lot of Spanish audiobooks and ebooks recently. You can do this. Students can do this. You want to log in with your district address. So mine was logged in already and it was a little faster. This is a pretty easy program to use, and the folks who staff the e-learning email address are really good at it because it comes from our library services department. So if you click down here at the bottom on Explore, and I'm sorry my mouse isn't bigger. I wasn't prepared to figure that out. Over here on the right where it says Collections, these are books that I've put together as collections for our district. So right here on the bottom, there's Spanish audiobooks and there's Spanish ebooks, and these span the grade levels. Now, if I'm in elementary school, I'm not going to see ebooks that are for high school students. Like some of these are middle and high school. But if I am in middle school or high school, I will see them. I know most of folks are elementary. And then you can look, you can filter juvenile fiction, juvenile literature, and we do have some audiobooks in Spanish. It's just a process of getting more of these. So this is one of the places that I recommend you go, and I'm going to pause for a minute and see if there are any questions. Okay. Mina, I know you're going to really like Sora when you learn about it. The other place that there are books in Spanish, and for younger kids, we know Epic is so accessible. If you click on Explore, so I could show you another time, or Darcy can show you the process of getting your Epic account, but just in knowing it's worth it, I think. It's all free right now. And if you click, I'm just hovering on Explore. You know what? I searched the other day like this. There we go. Languages. So you just scroll down, or you can go in the search bar and click Spanish. And Epic is totally free for kids to use at home 24/7 right now. I'll show you how you can set that up real quick if you have Epic accounts. Some of these look like they read out loud, like here where it says read to me. I have a 5-year-old and she really likes these read to me books. So there's not tons and tons, but there's a pretty good selection. And the way you give free Epic account right now, Epic access right now, is you go to your roster. And then if you have a parent email, you do have to have a parent email. You enter it right here. So you can see these are all set up already. But that is kind of how you do that. So I'm just going fast because I don't want to take up too much time here. Yes, Karen, to clarify, you always have Sora. Epic is free for now, 24/7. Epic will go back to being free from like 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. or whatever it is once we get back to the school year. I'm not a big promoter of Epic usually, but this is the moment. This is the time. It's so user-friendly for the kids. So if folks have other questions, I'm going to stop sharing my screen in a sec, but put them in the chat. For people who don't know me, I'm the district librarian. Oh, thank you, Leticia. I'm the district librarian, so I'm free to help with whatever, but including book stuff.
Thank you, Allison.
You're welcome, and I'll get that document ready for you guys. I'm assuming everyone else is running all week, so I am too.
I know you. I truly appreciate all your support.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
All right, folks, it's 10 a.m. I just want to say another big thank you. Spring break is officially after today, so please rest up, recharge, and come back healthy and stronger than ever. We need you, so stay healthy and reach out if you need to. We're here to support.
Thank you, Catalina. All right, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.